Hey everybody, I'm Mackenzie Harris and I'm a recruiter here at Pearl River Community College, and I'm so excited to be talking to you guys today and let you know everything about Pearl River.
Good deal. All right, Mackenzie. So we're going to start off with an easy one. So we're going to talk about the admissions application and the process there. So for you guys, when does your admissions application typically open? And then when would you say maybe like the best time? I don't know if you have a deadline in place, but like when's the best time to really start thinking about it?
Absolutely. Well, our application opens on September 1st in the fall of any of the semester. So you can start applying anytime after that application opens up. We have a rolling admissions application. So you can apply at any point in time. You can literally, after the first, second, third week of classes even start, you can still apply, and we have a rolling admission. So we don't really have a deadline. You can apply at any time once that application is live.
And she's not lying. You have students that show up like 2 weeks into class. And I just don't understand it. That was
Absolutely.
that was stressing me out. But
Well,
everybody.
now too, the difference with it as well is that we now have like 2 and 3 week and 4 week courses. So literally, like they can come in October and do a 4 week class,
Yeah.
or come in November and do a 4 week class. So it is rolling right now. Everything is all changing and it's online, and you can do it really quickly.
For sure. So for an incoming freshman, I would think your scholarship deadline would be a big guiding date for admissions. So when's
Yes,
y'all scholarship deadline?
absolutely. Absolutely. So we have our only scholarship deadline that we have is on April 1st. So that's going to be in the spring, obviously. You would want to go ahead and have like your admissions application already complete and be accepted by then. So that way you can apply for our one application scholarship application. So that's going to be the only deadline that you really have. And so we really encourage students to try to go ahead and apply, get that out of the way, get your processes done. So that way you can complete the things like FAFSA and different things like that. And that way you only have to worry about that one scholarship application. But yeah, we would really like to see students applying in the fall, but they can apply all the way up until classes get to starting.
Gotcha. And so with the admissions application, what items do students typically need? Some schools require an in-progress transcript or a partial transcript. Some just require a final transcript. So what is required for Pearl River?
Absolutely. So we require all students to just send in their final transcript. You can go ahead and apply online and fill out our admissions application without needing to have that transcript in hand or sent to the college first. You do end up needing to have that final transcript, your ACT score. You do at least have to have taken the ACT one time. We don't require a certain ACT score, but you do have to take the ACT, and we need to get those scores in. And in order to fill out the admissions application, usually I like to tell students, like, you need to know your social security number to be able to fill that out. Our school code, you'll need to have that, but that is very easy to find on our application. There's a way that you can like search for that school code right there. So those are like the things that you need to have for the admissions application, and just to get the ball rolling and get started with your admissions application.
So you mentioned that ACT score is required. It doesn't matter what your score is, but it is required for admission. But moving into scholarships for ACT purposes, with is there a certain ACT score, minimum that students need to get scholarships at Pearl River?
Yes, so there's a score of 18 is the minimum score that's going to get you a scholarship at Pearl River Community College. So an 18 to 20 is going to get you $350 per semester. So that's going to help out a lot, and that's going to really, kind of benefit those students that need to pay for tuition, and that just, even if that can cover some books and stuff for you. Anything from a 21 to a 24 is going to be considered a half tuition scholarship. So that's going to be $813 in the fall and $812 in the spring, for 2 years. And then anything above the 24 or 25 to 28 is going to be a full tuition scholarship. You'll get the $1,625. That's considered our full tuition. And then anything above the 28, a 29 to a 36 is going to get you our full ride. That's going to be considered our full tuition and full room and board as well. So that is valued at around $4,000 per semester. So all of those are per semester too. So you get those for 2 consecutive years. And the good thing about that is that you don't have to apply for those. With our admissions application, you have to send in your ACT scores eventually to be admitted to Pearl River. So that ACT score automatically gets put on your account. Whatever you had on it, that money automatically goes to your account.
That is good to know. So no separate application for ACT scholarships is awesome. That eliminates a barrier there for a lot of students. Do you guys super score for ACT with the scholarship? Or okay.
We do take super scores. So that is something that I have been really recommending to students, is to take the ACT as many times as you possibly can while you're in high school. Because you can even go and you can focus on a certain subject and try to make really high on that certain subject this one time, and then go for a different one the next time, because we do take those super scores. And that really helps out whenever you're talking about full tuition or full room and board, and the difference that 1 point can make for your ACT scholarships. So I really encourage everyone to take it as many times as you possibly can. I know that it's not necessarily the funnest thing to do in the world, but it will definitely help out in the end.
Depends who you talk to. Some people may say it's the most fun thing you can do in the world.
Right, exactly.
I don't know any of those people.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as I meet them, I will let you know.
Yeah, send them my way, because I would love to talk to them.
Yeah.
So what happens in your brain?
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think many people are saying that. So you mentioned no application for ACT scholarships. So what about other scholarships, like maybe foundation awards? Are there any other unique scholarships that PRC offers?
Absolutely. So we also have a CTE scholarship that I wanted to hit on really quick. So if a student completes any kind of career and technical program at their high school, they get a scholarship with us as well. And it depends on your GPA of how much you get. It can either be a half tuition or a full tuition scholarship. So that's really awesome. That is not an app, like you don't have to fill out an application for that either. Wow. That's automatically added to your account. Service scholarships are automatically added to your account. And you don't have to fill out any kind of application for that either. That's going to be like your athletic scholarships and things like organization scholarships. Now, the application that I was talking about that ends on April 1st, that's our foundation scholarship deadline. So that is our foundation scholarships. Our founding members, they donate the money and they invest in our students on campus. And you just have to fill out one application, and it applies you to all of our foundation scholarships. Sorry. Usually, I tell our students that if you just fill out the application, you're probably going to get one, because there is so many and they're very specific. So it could be, a student from Gulfport, Mississippi with, that's interested in biomedical engineering, like it's very specific to certain students, and you never know what is in that foundation. So usually if you fill it out, you're going to get one of those scholarships. But those are definitely very specific to Pearl River. And it's a really great program. And usually, like I said, every year, if you apply for it, you're probably going to get one.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so I'm sure that within some of those are probably financial need based and require the FAFSA, to determine their financial need. But is the FAFSA required for all students at Pearl River? Is it just for scholarship students, or is it just for those that are looking for those foundation awards?
Yes, so actually our FAFSA is required. So in order to become a student at Pearl River, you will need to fill out the FAFSA. That's one of our 4 steps to becoming a Wildcat, is filling out your FAFSA. So everybody has to fill that out. And even if it's not something that, you think that you need to fill out, we like for everybody to go ahead and fill it out. Just see, you never know, like what you might get from that FAFSA. And then after that, like your academic scholarships, your CTE scholarships, service scholarships, and foundation scholarships can then all be added onto your account. But all of the students are required to fill out the FAFSA.
And then do you have any sort of priority deadline for the FAFSA in place?
Yes, usually we really like for students to be done with their FAFSA by June 1st. That's kind of like our funding priority deadline that we have in place for students.
And then, okay, so since the scholarship deadline is April 1st, for the students who are trying to get those foundation awards or any of those April 1st scholarships, do they still have till June 1st to turn in FAFSA, or should they go ahead and do it earlier, you think?
They still have can still wait, but I would go ahead and recommend getting that FAFSA filed and getting all the
100%.
steps done. Usually like our application is going to be through what we call River Guide. So you're going to need your login credentials and everything like that. And so it's just going to make things a lot easier. If you already have like the whole process done, it's going to make things easier, but it's also not a deal breaker. You don't, if you didn't fill it out or if you need, like if you forgot about it and you're kind of like last minute, it's not something to stress about. You'll be able to get it done and everything will be okay by June 1st.
Yeah. So with River Guide, I'm assuming, everything is completely online. Do you guys still offer a paper application, or are most students, I'm sure most students are encouraged to fill out the online, but is it totally online now?
Yes, we are completely online. So we don't have a paper application anymore. We just do the strictly online application. It just is a lot easier for students usually to fill that out, and it's a very quick process. We're able to turn around and have students admitted to Pearl River extremely quickly. Since we don't require any kind of ACT score or anything like that, it's usually if you just fill out that application, you're going to get your acceptance letter pretty much within at least 48 to 72 hours. So everything is pretty much online now. Even our acceptance letter is now an online program. So pretty much everything is going online.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I mean, it's like you said, it's just so much quicker, and it's, very convenient for the student and for the college's side of things. And, there could be some barriers for a few students out there, but I think that's good offering it all online just for that easy
Absolutely.
factor. So before we get into academic majors and programs, I wanted to touch on housing for just a second. So with the housing application and the housing process, and I understand you may not know a lot with the housing process, but do you know at least when the application opens, and like, do y'all have a priority deadline or a hard deadline for housing?
Yes, so we have a housing application. It opens on September 15th is around the time that it normally opens. And then we don't really have a deadline in place for it. I remember whenever I was a student here, I was literally, it was in like the first week of class. And I was like, I think I want a dorm. And my dad was
Yeah.
like, you should dorm. And so I literally went to the residency hall and I was like, can I dorm? And they were like, yeah, just fill this out. And they stuck me in a room. Like it was super easy and they were able to help me. I don't recommend doing that,
Right.
but it is possible. We do really like for students to go ahead and like reserve their spot, and they can even go online and they can pick which dorm they want to be in. So that usually gives you, a priority over other students that haven't filled it out yet. You can go ahead and reserve your spot in a certain dorm that you want to be in. So that's a really great thing, and I would encourage everyone to go ahead and fill that out as soon as it opens, just because, like the really good dorms usually tend to fill up pretty quickly. So you definitely want to be on top of that.
Yeah, definitely. Do y'all see a wait list, from year to year, or?
Not normally. We actually just built some brand new dorms, and that has helped out a lot. So we have
Yeah.
a whole new dorms for girls and boys, and that has really like kind of just made it to where we don't have anybody on a wait list. Everybody pretty much gets the dorm that they want to get. And we don't really have anybody that's not able to dorm. So that has helped out a lot.
Yeah, that's good. So moving into academic programs, academic pathways. So being a junior college, community college, you guys are going to offer that technical route. You're also going to offer the academic side with the associate's degree programs. Are there any unique programs or special programs that you guys would like to push or make aware to guidance counselors and possibly students who could find this?
Absolutely. Well, we really want to push pretty much everything that we have at Pearl River Community College because we want everyone to know that we have so much to offer you as a student, especially in today's world. We are able to offer you the first 2 years of any kind of academic pathway that you want to go down. Whatever you want to do, if you want to be a biomedical engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, if you just want to get a business degree, anything that you want to do, you can do it at Pearl River for the first 2 years. And then you can transfer out to any major university that you want to go to. And we are accredited with all major universities. So you can be sure that you are going to be able to get your bachelor's degree. And then we also offer 42 career and technical programs at Pearl River Community College. And most of these programs are going to be within 2 years or less that you're done. And a lot of them are sometimes less than 2 years. So we really like to push those to students as well, because if maybe not going for 4 years or to a university is necessarily for you, then this option is really, really great. And especially in today's time with our workforce, they need the workers and they are willing to pay for the workers. So we're really trying to encourage those students. We have everything from welding and automotive mechanics to heavy machinery operating, to nursing, business marketing, and management. We have 4 new programs. We have court reporting, massage therapy, aviation maintenance technology, and computer coding. So we even have like some graphic design and computer classes. We have a drone program down at our Hancock County Center. So we have a lot of different options for students and things that are really innovative and on top of things right now in today's world. And these students are getting out making great money to be able to start out right as they start their careers. So that's something that I would really like for students to know, is that if, going and getting that 4-year degree doesn't sound like the best thing in the world to you, there are other options, and they're still really great options too. It's not anything to look down upon. It's something to be extremely excited about and to definitely take a look at least.
Yeah. And, every college, every level provides something for students, right? Like it's going to be a different experience. When you can go for 1 year versus going for 4 years or 6 years or 8 years or whatever it is that you want to do. But there are so many different options and varieties that sometimes students don't know about, all of the options that are available. So I think that's great. And that you guys have so many. I mean, 45, that's a lot of programs. You did say 45, right?
It's 42, but
42.
Maybe we'll get to 45 eventually.
I was close.
You were very close, but yes, it's 42. So like I said, there's something in there. I can almost promise you that you can look through our list and you can see you will find something that interests you.
Yeah.
So definitely taking a look at that. But yeah, we also offer, if you do want to go to college for 7 years or 8 years, you can do those first 2 years with us. You just do it for a little bit of a cheaper price and smaller class sizes. And then you can transfer out to any kind of university that you want to go to. So really, you can't go wrong either way, is what I like to tell my students.
Absolutely. All right. So before we wrap up, I want to open the floor for you and just, if there's anything else that I haven't covered through this process, if there's anything that you want to push for Pearl River, I'm going to open the floor up to you and let you tell counselors and students about those things, Mackenzie.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. So I would love to really talk about campus life. It's one thing for me that as my college experience kind of came to a wrap, I realized that the best 2 years of my entire life was spent here at Pearl River Community College. And the thing is that I grew up here in Poplarville, Mississippi, where PRCC is located. And I told everyone forever that I was not going to PRCC. There was no way. But I ended up coming here because I didn't want to leave home yet. And I can honestly say it was the best 2 years of my life. I met so many different people from all over the state of Mississippi and all over our country as well. We have so many things to be involved in on campus, from our Student Government Association that does all kinds of different activities each week for students, from bonfires in the fall and haunted hay rides to, scavenger hunts and water balloon fights. It just depends on what's going on. And then we have an awesome William Lewis Honors Institute. And I really encourage any students that think that they might want to be in that or even try to be in that. I really encourage them to do that as well. The opportunities that were here for me as a student coming from Poplarville, Mississippi, a very small town, I ended up eating breakfast with our President of the United States at the 2016 National Prayer Breakfast from the William Lewis Honors Institute. So I'm like, you can be eating dinner with the president one day. Like it's definitely an opportunity that students should not pass up, because they have so many things that are going on with that, and you get to meet so many incredible people and really grow professionally and as a person as well. I really encourage students to do that. We also have a really great fine arts program. We have our marching band, we have our show choir. We have our jazz singers. There's just a lot of stuff that we really like to push with our fine arts program and our Brownstone Center. So we're very passionate about that. And then we also have a great athletics program. So anything that the students want to go to, if you are a student at Pearl River Community College, you can go to all athletic events for free. And that's a really great way for students to kind of get together and have something in common, even if if they're on the team, that's a really great thing for students to be able to come here and be on a team like that in a college setting and really feel like they're a part of an amazing group. So we have a lot to offer here as far as campus life. I would also like to touch on our new facilities that we have. We have a brand new STEM center that was just built. It was a $6 million STEM center, and it's top-notch facilities. You won't find it anywhere else in the state of a STEM center like this. And we're really trying to promote that we are trying to be as innovative as possible. Our president has, put that at the top of his list to make our facilities here some of the best in the country. And he is definitely doing that. We also have a brand new academic building, Still Hall, that was just renovated for $2.5 million. And it's going to be the same way, top notch. Everything like that you can imagine is going to be in there. We just really want to promote that we are pushing and having this to be the best college atmosphere that you can possibly go into as a community college. So that's kind of the main things that I wanted to talk about and let people know of what's going on campus. But that's pretty much the gist of what's going on here at Pearl River. And if there's anything that anybody needs, we have an amazing staff here that wants to help students. We've really made it a campaign to start with customer service and to put students first, to make sure that we are helpful and that we're getting students from point A to point B and actually getting them where they need to be, and not just fend for yourself. No, we want to help you. We are here to help you, and that's a big push right now. And I know that with online and with COVID and all the different things that have been hard, we do really want to help students succeed in whatever they want to do. And I can promise you that if you come to Pearl River or if you call Pearl River, you will get with someone that genuinely wants to help you.
Perfect. All right. Sounds like there's a lot of great things going on over there, a lot of growth and moving forward, which is always a good thing. So we want to say thanks again, Mackenzie, for giving us all these great updates to Pearl River. And I want to say thank you to all of our guidance counselors and students who do find this video. And we hope that all of this is helpful. And we will talk to you guys next time. Thanks.
Thank you so much.